Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, Game Changer Wrestling. Blood on the Hills. Happened last night on Fight TV. It was 10 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, so I wasn't able to watch it last night, so I watched it today and tonight. Besides the issue with the feed and we missing one match, it was a great card. The show give me everything that I was looking for. Hashtag Game Changer Blood. First match was a six-way scramble match, which I've yet to see. There was some issue with the feed. Anybody who saw the show saw that. So we're going to start late because we're waiting for the crowd to get in there, get seated, and then they just never started. So they said that it'll eventually be up on the replay. Okay. That six-way scramble was Gringo, Loco, Arez, Jimmy Lloyd, Matt Vandergriff, Jack Cartwheel, right, and Ninja Mack. I've seen enough of these scramble matches with these guys. You kind of knew what this match was going to be. If I had to just guess, I'm probably going to end up starting at about 3.5-ish. You're going to have some cool spots. These guys are all really uber talented. Some different styles in that match, so you don't have all nothing but high flyers. Jimmy Lloyd's a big, tough, brawling kind of guy. Jack Cartwright, Nigel, and Ninja Mack will do all your spots. Arez does spots. Gringo Loco. It's like a pit bull almost in there. So once I do get to see the match, it's going to be a pretty good match. The first match that you got to see on the show was the Game Changer Wrestling Tag Team Championships. We had them boys, the Briscoe, Sandy Fork, Delaware, current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions versus Brody King and PCO. PCO is actually the Game Changer Extreme Champion. They don't have the title anymore. I don't know why. But if you actually look it up, he's shown as a champion of that. Part of Violence Unlimited from Ring of Honor. So we got a lot of Ring of Honor flair in this first match. This match was just nuts. They brought the doors out. They brought the chairs out. So I came up with a match idea. WWE can have their TLC matches. We're going to have a DLC match. Doors, ladders, and chairs. Or ladders, chairs, and doors. Take tables out, put doors in, DLC. Book it now, Dano. I think that would be kind of cool. But literally set the doors up between chairs, and that's the same as the table. They had that in this match. They had multiple tables. At one spot, they had a table in the ring. Brody King was already bleeding. Jay Briscoe was cut up. Brody King wiped the blood off and wrote "die" on this table. Ended up going through the table. They did a spot. They had two tables set up out, two doors set up on chairs outside the ring. I think it was Jay Briscoe went through one of them. They had some crazy spots there. That Game Changer is not fully about that kind of style of wrestling, but that's part of it. Briscoe's retaining their title. This is a rematch. We've seen this match before in Ring of Honor. So it was a great match. So 3.5 star. That's the thing about Game Changer Wrestling. You don't necessarily have all matches that style. The next match, Tony Deppen versus Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne is a 17-year-old kid. Third generation superstar coming up, trying to make a name for himself, versus Tony Deppen. Tony Deppen here recently has been part of Ring of Honor, part of Violence Unlimited, with Chris Dickinson, Brody King, PCO. This is one of those. Nick Wayne is kind of the high-flying lucha libre style. Tony Deppen's kind of his own little style. Does a little bit of everything. They had a great back and forth match. I love when they do a lot of false finishes and you get, you're like, who's going to win? It kind of gives you that kind of moment where this person can win. They're not going to, but they can. So this was a nice back and forth match. Tony Deppen ended up getting the victory. I give it 3 3/4 star. To that point, it was match of the night. Next up, we had an intergender tag match. We had Chelsea Green, the hot mess, with her fiance, I guess, husband, whatever he is now, Mid Cardona. Yes, Mid Cardona. Thanks, Moosh, for that one out at Impact Wrestling. Versus Bussy, Allie, Katch, and Effy. This has been an ongoing feud with these 4 or 3, Matt Mid Cardona and Effy, going back a couple pay-per-views. A lot of this match was intergender. It was Green and Effy and Mid Cardona and Allie Katch. or like Katch, excuse me. Mack Cardona. Dude did not create Game Changer Wrestling. Dude is not the king of the death matches just because he beat Nick Gage. He thinks he is. He thinks because he put Game Changer on the map. Dude, no, I've watched 800 Game Changer matches before you showed up. Yeah, no, dude. It's just really, it's just him coming out trying to be this. He's trying to be the Mr. McMahon heel of the 90s when he was ECW champion. That was what his gimmick is supposed to be. It's not working for him. It's just constantly coming out, flipping off people. I'm like, dude, that's why you flip people off and talk smack. This match, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great by no means. Intergender match. And then at the end of it, Allie Cat ended up getting a pin. Allie Cat and Effy ended up winning. I give it 3.25 stars. Mack Cardona gets all mad and leaves and says that he quits Game Changer Wrestling. They're not worthy of him or something. He quit, get out of here, never come back. And even the announcers called him Mid Cardona. I thought that was pretty epic. Next up, we had the first ever Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Title Pure Rules match in Game Changer Wrestling. I love it. Ring of Honor is taking a hiatus between now and April. If they're going to let their talent and their titles go wrestle other places, okay. I'm good with that. But yeah, we had Pure Rules match. Ring of Honor World Champion Jonathan Gresham going up against AJ Gray, part of the Second Gear crew. I didn't really know what to expect with this. Being the fact that Jonathan Gresham and AJ Gray, two vastly different styles of wrestlers, which typically different styles make a match. If you get two guys that are completely different, like these guys are, that's going to make the match, which it kind of did here. You had Jonathan Gresham trying to stand up to AJ Gray and chop him and hit him, kind of that brawling style. You had AJ Gray trying to do some of the mat stuff and wrestling Pure Rules mat wrestling with Jonathan Gresham. So those two styles meshing together like they did made for an excellent match. If you're new to Pure Rules, one of the couple of the things is you get one close fist to the face. The first one you get warned, the second one you get DQ'd. You have 3 rope breaks, which means if you're trying to break a hold, you go to the ropes, that's a rope break. So you have 3 of those. Once you exhaust your 3 rope breaks, you can use the ropes, be pinned in the ropes. The ropes mean nothing to you at that point. It's like in a DQ match. And so if somebody interferes, they get in Ring of Honor terms. If somebody interferes, they get fired. But yeah, it's kind of like Pure Rules match, 20 count on the outside because it was Ring of Honor rules. It was a great match. Jonathan Gresham ended up getting the victory. I give it 3.5. I love it. We'll come back to Jonathan Gresham in a minute. Next match. So, last pay-per-view in Texas. So Alive. On December 4th, we had 30 days from the time that Blake Christian was released by NXT. He counted that day down. December 4th, he was there. Go Alive, I think it was. We were supposed to get Blake Christian and Bandito. We didn't get it. No, we were supposed to get Blake Christian and whoever we wrestled then. We were supposed to get Bandito here. We didn't get it because of COVID. Fine, whatever. So his replacement, Zayne. Okay. Both these guys this year spent time in the NXT developmental at the Performance Center for WWE. They both got released. These guys, especially young talent like this, that go from indies to the Performance Center to NXT and then get released. Here's the thing. They're better wrestlers now than they were then. Here's why. What do you do at the Performance Center? You train. Who are you training with? Matt Bloom, Sarah Del Rey, Norman Smiley, Robbie Brookside, William Regal, Shawn Michaels, Adam Cole was there at that time, Tripp. You have so much raw talent that are developing you into your character, developing you into what you're going to be for NXT. When they release you, you take that, what's in here, they can't take from you. It's not like they can delete a chip and then delete everything in your memory. You take that training effort, you take that knowledge that you gained, and you take it with you. You build your character up on the independents. And I think that's what Blake Christian and Allie Zayne both did here because, yeah, they're uber talented before this match. They've done things before that you've never seen before. That I had another match. I looked at my records. 2020, Homecoming, July 25th, 2020. Homecoming 1, Alex Zayne versus Blake Christian. 4-star match. This match. It started off, we're friends, and then it's like, I'm going to kick your ass. And that's the thing about Alex Zayne and Blake Christian. I will put them up against any two guys who can have a match like this against each other. But then in 2 weeks, they can tag together and have just a great match. But yet you can feud them or put them together. Like a Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Like an Edge and Christian. Like a Tripp and Shawn. You know, you go back to, the history of professional wrestling here. Two guys that in a match, hey, we need a great match tonight. Can you guys go out and do it for us? And that's what this was. This match delivered to me. This was match of the night. This is one of the top 10 matches of the year for Game Changer Wrestling. There were spots in this match I've never seen before. Obviously, they did the thing in the ring where they kind of knew each other, knew what was coming. I'm better than you, but I know all your moves. But they ended up fighting on the outside a little bit. I love Game Changer. They just let it go. They fought like this ramp thing. Zayne is telling people, get back, get back. I mean, obviously, there's no barriers and other stuff. The crowd's literally right there. They're fighting in the crowd. He goes up this. He tells everybody to move because he's going to do like a freaking like a haluva kick type of deal to Blake Christian like Zayne was. Zayne ducks it over, ends up jumping up, putting his feet on the wall, on the sidewall, mind you, flipping around him. And Zayne didn't know what happened. They ended up fighting a little bit. Zayne pushed, there's like a wall there. Blake Christian pushed Zayne over that wall. Does a springboard off of a wood wall. Does a flip up, spin around, flipped up, flip over, landed on him. Again, a springboard off a wall that you can't springboard off of. Twice during this little, he literally walked on the sidewall. Not just on the floor. He walked on the wall and has feet on the wall. It's like spots like that. And some of the stuff they did in the ring, the false finishes, the kind of, literally 2.9999 he kicked out a couple times. This match was just, to me, it was more than just a high-flying match. They had a different level of the way they wrestle. It wasn't just all high-flying. There was some mat wrestling. There was some stuff outside. There was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You could see kind of the technique stuff they learned compared to the previous match they learned in the Performance Center. Blake Gresham got the pinfall victory here. I give it 4.25. There's probably people out there watching that match going, yeah, it's 3.5, 3.75 at the very most. Over the last 3 years, I've watched 18,000 matches, 2019, 2020, and 2021. I've star rated every single one of them. I have 2 notebooks from 2018 that I have about probably 2,000-3,000 matches from then that I have not put in my spreadsheets. So I've watched a lot of wrestling over the last 4 years, and I've star rated every single match. That's my opinion. I would love to eventually have a site like ProFightDB.com that Meltzer has. The one thing that I have in my library here versus what Meltzer has on ProFightDB.com, I have every match that I've watched star rated. A lot of the matches on there aren't star rated. If you go look, if you look up the Winter is Coming AEW Dynamite show, he gave Adam Page and Adam Page and Bryan Danielson 5-star. That's the only match he rated on that card. Some of the New Japan stuff, he'll rate like the main events, and that's it. I rate everything. So for 4 years now, if I'm watching a wrestling match, it's in my notebook with a star rating next to it. Not that it's better or worse. I'm just saying I've rated that many matches. So to me, I give it 4.25. Again, it's my personal opinion. That's the fun thing about pro wrestling. It's 90% opinion, 10% fact. The fact of this match, Blake Christian won. The fact of this match, they did these spots. Now, I enjoyed those spots. I enjoyed the match, 4.25. Somebody else might go, that's a 3-star match. I didn't enjoy it as much. Your preference, your style. Next up, we did have Matthew Justice versus Jacob Fatu. For those of you who aren't in the know, Jacob Fatu is actually a cousin to the Usos and to Roman Reigns. Alpha's son, I think it is, one of them Samoans kids. He looks like oh my god, Eddie Fatu, Farouk, not Farouk. Oh my god, why can I not think of this guy's name? There's too many of them people out there. Let me look it up real quick. Jacob Fatu. He's actually a former MLW champion. Let's see here. He is Rikishi. That's who I'm not Rikishi. Umaga. That's who I'm thinking of. Umaga. God. He is. Let's see here. Jacob Fatu. Jacob. He is Tonga Kid's son. So Sam Fatu, ring name Tonga King, and Tama. That's his son. So he's cousin to the Usos and all them. And Umaga. He actually came out on an AEW show with Armando Herrera, whatever. The guy that came out with Umaga, his manager. I swear he looked like him. He's talked about on different podcasts and different radio shows. He's talked about learning from Uncle Eddie and doing stuff with the Usos. And he's like, the one thing I do that they don't do is the backflips. I used to do backflips in pools all the time. That's how I learned it. And so he's actually trimmed down a lot of recent. So he's actually in hella good shape right now. That's what the pandemic did for him. But yeah, I mean, there's so many of that family out there that are just great wrestlers. He's contracted with MLW, and he does other stuff like Game Changer. He'll pop up on an indie show here and there. Him and Matthew Justice supposed to have this match, but you know what? Matthew Justice, part of the second gear crew with Mance Warner, who's hurt, with AJ Gray, with one called Manders. This was a 2-on-1. Juicy Fanu, he's teamed with Jacob Fatu a few times. Big guy, huge guy. He was on the outside. It basically was a 2-on-1. The referee got knocked out. It actually ended as a no contest. I ended up giving it 1 3/4 star. It was more of a this is more of a fight than anything else. What I want to see is what this leads to, and that's the thing. This is going to lead to somewhere. We definitely get Fatu and Matthew Justice again sometime. Oh, almost forgot. After the Blake Christian match, him and Zayne, Blake Christian grabbed the mic, started calling out people, saying that he will wrestle any style, strong style, pure style. Lily said that at Hammerstein. So this is the road to the Hammerstein Ballroom. January 20. I think when I wrote these dates down, because I just looked at this before I did my video here. On January 23rd, Game Changer Wrestling, the World of GCW 2022, at the famous Hammerstein Ballroom, New York City, New York. On January 22nd will be the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame. That's going to be pretty tight. Hammerstein Ballroom, ECW did all their stuff there. Ring of Honor did a lot of shows there. That's where the famous John Cena RVD match, one night stand. People that sign up. If Cena wins, we riot. Hammerstein. This is huge for Game Changer Wrestling. This is probably the most famous, biggest building they've ever performed in. We got 4 shows leading up to that. It's going to be amazing. And Blake Christian calling out Jonathan Gresham, not only for a match for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title. Wow. Blake Christian, if he is able to get that match against Jonathan Gresham, that's going to be the tale of two styles. That's, again, styles make fights. Those two guys, 2 way different styles. It's going to be amazing to watch. I'm so excited about that. Eventually, hopefully, we get Blake Christian versus Bandito, which we've been teased to twice now. Now, at Game Changer Wrestling, New Year's Eve, to Infinity, we'll get Alex Zayne, Blake Christian, in a tag team match. I didn't see who they were tagging against. But yeah, we got these 2 guys fighting here, put on a 4 1/4 star match, and now they're going to go tag with each other at To Infinity in Atlantic City on New Year's Eve. They're facing Dante Leon and Ninja Mack. Yeah, that'll be some fun stuff right there. I'll tell you that. Game Changer will have their To Infinity show on New Year's Eve, and they'll have a New Year's Day show as well. New Year's Day will be Game Changer show, AWB Day 1 show. We're starting out 2022 with lots of wrestling. It's going to be great. All right, the main event. No rope barbed wire death match. Atticus Cogar versus Jordan Oliver. Jordan Oliver has never been in a death match before. Atticus Cogar, part of 440. 440 Ohio. Boy. He is pretty damn good when it comes to death match, I'll tell you that right now. But Jordan Oliver, he's just good in general. He's that kind of the next generation, the future star. One thing he calls his little faction is young, dumb, and broke. Because they're so young, they're dumb, but they can perform like crazy guys. But yeah, this match had the barbed wire around the ropes, but I didn't really care for, because you don't want to get thrown into the barbed wire, but it kind of limits you on some of your moves and stuff. They ended up getting doors out. They ended up they had a door covered in barbed wire, they had a chair covered in barbed wire, they got panes of glass out, they got Atticus Cogar has these skewers that he loves to stick in people's foreheads. He had those. So they had a little bit of everything plus the barbed wire. The barbed wire was a little bit much, to be honest with you. This match was a good match overall. They were able to fight on the outside some. There was some blood. Now, one thing that happened at the last show, Atticus Cogar held Jordan Oliver's face over the pyro, and he goes off in his eye. So he came out with his eye all bandaged up. At one point, and the announcers are like, Atticus Cogar's got lighter fluid. He kind of had it hidden. And, Jordan Oliver had lighter fluid. They literally had a door in the ring, and they're just soaking it with lighter fluid. We're like, what the hell's going to happen here? You know that Atticus Cogar was trying to, and he had a big old, I don't know what you want to call it, like a wand, and he lit on fire. He was going to blow fire right in Atticus's face, in Jordan Oliver's face, but it kind of backfired on him and kind of blew back up in his face. When he went to light the door, it kind of came straight back at him. And then Oliver ended up superplexing Cogar through the door that was on fire. That did not get the pin. Atticus Cogar ended up getting the victory here. Crazy match. When they start playing with fire, it's like, whoa, guys, be careful here. Someone's going to get hurt. But Atticus Cogar getting the victory over Jordan Oliver in this no rope barbed wire death match, I give it 3.5. I mean, it was missing some stuff from a real death match. Some of the Nick Gage stuff I've watched and really liked. But overall, I thought it was a good match. It was hard-hitting to kind of get the point across that these guys' feud has boiled out. I mean, even the video package for this, I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, it was kind of that build-up, kind of blow it off. And so these guys will probably go their separate ways at this point. But overall, great show. I wish I could have seen the first match. I wish that Fight wouldn't have their signal issues with Game Changer. You know what? It happens. When you're dealing with Game Changer, Fight, coming to the public, things happen. You know, it is what it is. What I would like to see going forward, I would like to see kind of the grand pro wrestling. I love how they talk about there's no forbidden door in Game Changer because they already used it and put somebody through it. Is with Ring of Honor doing their thing, if Ring of Honor goes out of business, have somebody like a Tony Khan buy the library for Ring of Honor, buy the Honor Club, create AEW Honor Club, have the Ring of Honor stuff on there, have the Game Changer stuff on there as well. Kind of not get away from Fight TV because there is no contract with Fight. You just say, hey, we're going to put this show on there, and they're okay, cool. Is have a thing where all your shows are through that Honor Club deal with AEW, and then that way you can have kind of a set spot for your history, your library. People go to and go back and watch the old stuff. I've watched 800. I looked it up earlier. Since 2018, I've watched over 800 Game Changer matches. 450 of those are this year. Right now, they are trending to be, at least what I've watched, the 4th or 5th most matches for the company. WWE's number 1, then AEW, New Japan, Impact Wrestling, Game Changer. They're all over 425 right now. It's crazy that there was that many matches, and they still got another show on New Year's Eve to go, and I still got a few things to catch up on my spreadsheet from my book. But yeah, I love Game Changer Wrestling. It's one of my favorite companies because they do. And when I first started watching Deathmatch Wrestling, I couldn't stand it. Really, some of the early stuff that I watched in 2018, 2019, I'm like, I don't really want to see this. I was like, ugh. But once I started really watching it for what it is, so when they do a glass spot, that's to me is like a suplex kind of move. And is it impactful? Does it change the moment of the match? Do they, there's a point in time where they no-sell stuff. Did they no-sell it right? Did they sell it right? Did it fit in that spot of the match? Once you kind of think about it that way and look at the ooh, ah moments, that's how it helps me kind of rate the death matches and stuff. Overall, great show. Game Changers, always great shows. I'm going to wrap this up here. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.